It looks like everybody's beefing this week. NetEase is beefing with Activision, and Epic is beefing with Google, and Microsoft is still beefing with Sony. All that and more. My name's Ethos, and these are your top 5 stories for this week's Free-to-Play Weekly. Coming in number 5 before the beef, Konami's popular online game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, has incorporated a new game mode that will have teams working together in either 3v3 or 5v5 team matches. These team battles will allow players to group up in groups of 3 or 5 to compete with other teams in a series of duels. The winning team will be determined based off of the team's total wins. Players can also set different rules and deck building restrictions for their duel. That way they can match with people with the same restriction requirements. And coming in at number 4, many players were excited to learn that Overwatch 2 will be doing away with loot boxes in exchange for the Battle Pass with their new free-to-play model. However, after the release of the game, people have been quickly underwhelmed by the free-to-play Battle Pass and its lackluster rewards. Thankfully, player voices have been heard, and the new executive producer for Overwatch 2, Jared Neus, has brought this up in the latest Blizzard blog post. He said, and I quote, "I could say a lot here, but I think a good place to start is that we aren't completely satisfied with how everything feels right now. We also recognize that today's experience has an opportunity for improvement that needs to be focused on." Blizzard says that it will be bringing new changes to come Season 2. To start, each event will now have a skin that will be earned simply by playing. The Twitch Drops program will continue, and this reward program will deliver skins, voice lines, weapon charms, and more simply by tuning into a Twitch streamer's live stream for a given amount of time. This can be accumulated over different streams. That's an easy and effective way to gain skins with little to no effort. Then come Season 3, there'll be a mix of Battle Pass changes, more interesting challenges to pursue, and an exciting player-focused progression systems for all to dig into. Blizzard also has plans to make support role players more fun and rewarding to play, which will hopefully address the long queue times for tanks and DPS roles. Players can look forward to this all at the start of Overwatch 2's second season come December the 6th. And coming in at story number 3, as the Epic vs. Apple court fighting continues, you'd be forgiven to forget that Epic has been making similar accusations to Google and its Google Play Store in jurisdictions around the world. The debate ranges from the same 70-30 type split that Epic has been rallying against on Apple's platforms to payment processing disputes, which are all pretty similar. However, a new wrinkle in the Epic vs. Google front has been revealed due to some court filings becoming unredacted this past week. The crux of the new argument against Google sees Epic making the claim that Google's Project Hug is Google's way for working with other developers to keep competition to a minimum. The allegation goes on to specifically call out Activision as beneficiaries of Google's Hug. Epic claims that Google has paid Activision $360 million to not develop a competing mobile store when the Call of Duty Titan was planning to do so. Furthermore, Epic claims similar, a bit smaller deals were made with other companies like Riot Games, which we have reached out for comment, and others, all in an effort to stave off potential competing Android app stores. In Riot's case, the allegation from Epic focuses on Riot's alleged desire to make League of Legends a standalone mobile platform. Activision's response? A spokesperson said that Epic's allegations are nonsense. "We can confirm that Google never asked us, pressured us, or made us agree to not compete with Google Play, and we've already submitted documents and testimony to prove this." For its part, Google isn't denying the existence of Project Hug, but they do claim that the project actually is a means to provide better service and resources to fellow developers. Both denials haven't stopped Epic Games' Tim Sweeney from taking the fight to Twitter, however. And coming in at number 2 with more beef, in just little over a month, Chinese gamers may have fewer choices when it comes to their online gaming experiences. According to a press release published last week, the World of Warcraft developer licensing agreement with Chinese publisher NetEase is set to expire, and a new deal has yet to be reached. The press release included a list of all the games at this point that are scheduled to end services on January the 23rd, 2023. The easier thing is just to say that mobile game Diablo Immortal is not on the chopping block. As it was co-developed with NetEase, the same contract does not apply. The issue is generally in the case is that two companies cannot reach an agreement on this said new deal. As Blizzard puts it, they have yet to reach a new deal to renew the agreements that are consistent with Blizzard's operating principles and commitment to players and employees. This may be because Blizzard has been adjusting policies over the past year or so. What was fine before is maybe not fine now. Interestingly, while this may hurt Blizzard alone, it may not be that big of a deal for Activision Blizzard as a whole. According to the company's last earnings reports estimate, the profits made via Chinese sales through NetEase are about 3% of its total revenue. In fact, Activision Blizzard distributes other games in China through the publisher Tencent. Those games like Call of Duty won't be impacted by this deal. While Blizzard's initial press release making the ceasing of services sound like a done deal, a follow-up statement from NetEase makes it sound as if that they hadn't been informed that it was happening. According to the statement, they feel very sorry that Activision Blizzard announced the termination of cooperation in advance today. It also noticed that they will have to accept this decision. Unofficially, NetEase's president Simon Zhu took to their LinkedIn profile and spilled some interesting tea without naming names, teasing one day when what has happened behind the scenes could be told, developers and gamers will have a whole new level of understanding of how much damage a jerk can make. And coming in at number 1, your biggest story this week, Remember when we reported that Xbox had apparently offered Sony a deal that of at least 3 more years of Call of Duty being available on Sony's console? If you do, then you probably will remember that apparently that 3-year offering was inadequate according to Sony. As Saudi Arabia and Brazil approved the Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard, other countries have yet to do so, with the UK being particularly aggressive and launching additional investigations. Sony's big sticking point that they've put forward in their arguments has always been focused on keeping the military shooter on their platform for as long as possible, as certainly understandable why they wouldn't want a multi-million-dollar franchise to become console-specific. The New York Times now reports that Xbox has offered a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but as of right now, there's no public word on Sony's thoughts on the offer. Video Game Chronicle cites Sony as declining to comment on the offer, but Microsoft tells The Verge that if they want a contract basically saying forever, sorry, contracts just simply don't work like that. Microsoft also alleges to the Times that Sony is misleading regulators in their assessment of how important COD is to PlayStation. Video Game Chronicle reports no comment from Sony on the offered 10-year deal. And that moves us to the question of the week. With all this beef going around, let's just focus on something else, with specifically the Overwatch 2 Battle Pass. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you feel like needs to change with the Battle Pass in order for it to be more enticing? Is it the rewards? Is it how long it takes for you to unlock a brand new character? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And these are your top 5 stories for this week's Free-to-Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out MMOBomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name's Ethos, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everyone.